but you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and SamAnt, going in today on this Monday, kicking off the week the right way. If you're watching this on YouTube, I need y'all to do me two favors before I get to this next story. Hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. This is a breaking story that I seen just come across my ticker here. Young boy, NBA young boy, was arrested. Once again, NBA young boy arrested once again. This time, for the police are saying pretty much having less than an ounce of weed. Now they're saying also the rapper was arrested on charges of using fighting words and physical obstruction with another. Now all three counts are misdemeanors, and he's currently being held in the Atlanta City Detention Center. Now they're saying, unfortunately, that a bond has not been set, and the details are pretty scarce. We don't know much more than that right now, but he is arrested once again. NBA young boy looking at some misdemeanor charges, but charges nonetheless, at this point in time. So what do you think about this new report, coming out, him being arrested once again, Sam, man? I know you know a lot about NBA young boy.
Talented rapper out of Tennessee, man. I like him, but he's a fucking knucklehead. It is what it is. And he seems to always find himself in negative situations where people often like to push his button and try to test him and get it on camera. It seems like he's a real a person. I don't want to say he's easy to kind of rile up, but the trolls, when he gets to certain situations, they got people that push his buttons, and his buttons are too easily exposed, and he reacts way too quick. When you hear about the misdemeanor charge of less than an ounce of marijuana, the cops were fucking with him, obviously, but he probably overreacted too. And I'm not saying he wasn't justified, but you got to play chess in this thing, not checkers. And you can't be running your mouth and going crazy out here with some of these cops and all this nonsense. You got to play the game right. Right, because they ready to throw a bunch of shit on you. Now, misdemeanor charges, nonetheless, I see him getting out of the situation, nonetheless. But like you said, this is another moment, another instance where he finds himself behind bars or in a situation with the law. And we talked about this with Meek Mill, maybe not necessarily on the podcast per se, maybe on Hip Hop News Uncensored in the earlier days, on how Meek Mill was kind of unfortunately getting a paper trail. His name was just too out there, even though the charges were nonsense. The gun charge against a police officer was bogus. We know that. The Williams shit was bogus, but the stuff going on around it, the maybe the possible thing with Safari and this, his name was just in the media for too many negative things, giving somebody a reason to do some dumb shit. We saw what happened. Right. I don't want to say the same thing happened to NBA YoungBoy, but it looks like that's kind of maybe the path that is going down.
Yeah, well, here's another update that just came across my screen here. According to TMZ, it says according to cops, young boy and a female companion named Star were hanging out in a hotel room where a housekeeper entered the room and saw a young boy allegedly arguing, with Thigpen. He says Thigpen attacked one of the maids, striking her in the face. Damn. The police report was obtained by TMZ, states that the fight spilled into the hallway until the housekeeper could get away and call the cops. When the cops arrived, both young boy and Thigpen were arrested. That's his update, on that story.
So that lady get charged for aggravated assault if she wants to.
Yeah.
Which is even more serious than if the NBA young boy put his hands on her. That might be more serious. You're assaulting.
My thing is like
maids shit now.
The thing is like stuff happens, but when you're a celebrity, every little thing is put under the microscope. Like this probably happened up the street from here. Somebody got into a fight with a girl or something, they got arrested. It's misdemeanor, quote weed. But when you're a celebrity, it just looks like, oh man, they're in trouble. And just because they get money, we always say, how come they didn't do this better? They don't really change you for the better. Yes, people still doing the same things, they were doing. They probably been doing more reckless. We all know the people we come up with, like guys who just, running these entourages, they smoking weed in a car. They might have pills, guns, all types of shit. And they just recklessly living out there, not giving them. I knew a few cats like that coming up. And they would always be in and out of jail, and they just really didn't give a fuck, regardless. And they didn't really think, too clearly. We talk about the people, who pose on internet with guns and all types of drugs and stuff. They're not thinking clear enough to say, you know what? I might be putting myself in harm's way or snitching on myself, which is another thing that we got to talk about. I always wanted to talk about this when people were getting arrested, for, pretty much snitching on themselves. Does that make you a snitch too? If you're snitching on yourself?
It's the worst snitch it could be.
You know what I mean? Like, can we call you a rat? Can we call you a rat for snitching on yourself?
You're a rat that eats yourself. You're a cannibal to yourself. It's disgusting.
Right.
And when you look at it, it's a shame. Last thing to just end this whole NBA young boy situation, put the goddamn do not disturb sign up. And then nobody can come in your room. You ain't never been in a hotel. Right. Lady can't just barge in your room unless you ain't respond. She ain't just walk in there. She had to knock, say housekeeping, knock again. Then she walked in the door, job. Put the do not disturb sign up, man. Keep it moving.
Definitely. See, that is what it is, man. Once again, you know, a lot of times the problem with this thing here is these guys be on papers, you know what I mean? And, you know, they get a charge and they give him more time. So, you know, hopefully that young man can get himself together. He is a young boy. Look at his name. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It just seems like he's just in and out of jail. But that kind of is what it is, man, here on the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, God, and Sam. And I don't know if you've seen this, SamAnt, the new Aladdin. I don't know if you've seen this. But your boy Will Smith is going to be playing Aladdin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's been getting dragged. A lot of people, you know, I've put saying a lot of nasty comments about that, according to this article here. What do you think about it?
I'm not going to drag Will Smith right now, but I'm not impressed with it.
Nah, definitely.
I wish it was. I would rather hear his voice on like a Pixar kind of cartoon kind of thing. That live action Aladdin with him sitting up there looking crazy. It looks crazy. It looks crazy. Now, I'm looking forward to The Lion King. I ain't gonna lie to you. That comes out in June, and you can see like live action when it comes to animals and shit like that. That's gonna be dope. But to do live action with Aladdin and have him sitting up there looking crazy, I can see how people are clowning him. But I'm not gonna.
I'm just like, I'm definitely not gonna you know, clown him, you know, on that. But I think, you know, he can just use his talent for so much. It's so much better, like movies. I mean, because when you see like back in the day when we seen Will Smith like Independence Day, he was kind of moving, you know, towards like a whole nother, you know, different type of, you know, the comedian type goofy actor to some serious roles. And he did real well. Hasn't been much that I've been really, you know, Pursuit of Happiness was good, Enemy of the State. But a lot of the movies that Will Smith does, man, it just really don't impress. Just me. Don't impress me like that, man. I think he could do better. That's just my opinion.
And that's a shame because I mean, he's one of the guys growing up. Will, Martin, you know what I mean? Cosby's, these are our guys. You know what I mean? And like you said, Independence Day, Big Willie Weekend. We was out there watching that. Men in Black, we was watching that. But like you said, he started transitioning and getting the more serious roles, and it was looking like it could be an evolution. That brother's making money. He's paid. I mean, I know that's not everything, but a lot of people are going to say he's rich and all this stuff. He could do better roles too. That's
some clown shit, man.
Bad Boys 3 is coming out, but even that's going to be, it's going to be great. Awesome movie. I can't wait to see it, but that's even kind of comedic. And
do you think that, you know, that's going to live up to the hype? Bad Boys 3 is going to be hard. What do you think about that?
It's going to be hard. I think people are going to be excited to see it. I think a lot of people are just going to be excited to see it, like they're excited to see a building, but I don't know if it's going to be much substance to it.
Oh man, speaking of that, see, we ain't even gonna, you know, people gonna listen to this podcast. You know, somebody said that they bought a building. You know, somebody. But we gonna get to that real soon. We just want to keep mum's the word. No, we got something for y'all on that one. But yeah, man, that is what it is, man. The Uncensored Truth podcast. Another one in the books.
Got one more thing for you, man, real quick.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah.
They got Kareem Hunt. Now we all know Kareem Hunt, the ex-Kansas City Chief running back. Sources tell ESPN's Adam Schefter that Hunt signed a 1-year contract. He will be a restricted free agent after the contract expires, meaning the Browns will control his rights after next season. The Kansas City Chiefs.